All right, so moving forward in the boat, you can see that this is the mast, and it's a keel-stepped mast, which is good for security reasons and stability and everything. That's my dive tank that I got, so I can clean the bottom. To the right, there's a hanging locker. It's where I keep all the life vests and cushions and stuff. Some additional storage area. And I think some of this wood, it's actually in all in all in pretty good shape. The main issue, although I'll have to look, you can see some of these places where it's a little bit stained. I gotta take this headliner down. You can see it's a little bit rotted, this headliner. So even though in general the headliner looks like it's in pretty good shape and still attached pretty well, I think it's also pretty dated. So at some point I want to tear that down and put up a new headliner, and that'll give me an opportunity to try and find out where the water intrusion is coming from, and get those things fixed. There might be a deck fitting up here or something that's not quite sealed correctly. And I did check the billages earlier, and I had emptied them, but as you can see, there is a little water in there. We had a couple solid weeks of rain, so there is some water that's coming in from someplace. So I need to get that checked out and investigated. Do a little bit more work on that. Another sort of locker here by the mast, so you can get access to all the wires going up the mast. So I need to check those things out. And then the head is another area, but you can see it's got a full head and it works pretty well. I already took down a lot of the headliner in this area, but left some of it up. And so again, all the wood and everything is really in pretty strong shape. Just needs to be thoroughly cleaned and everything. And then, might be one of those situations where it might be helpful to take it apart and then, insulate the hull and everything, and just make sure the chain plates don't show any rust or corrosion. But again, that's something, that could bear further investigation to make sure that there's no water coming in through the deck where the chain plates come down, and then to make sure that this bulkhead is really solid. So that's another project. And then moving forward, we have the V-berth. So there's additional storage areas underneath each side of the V-berth, and more shelves, and another small hanging locker here and another one there. The V-berth is the spot where the headliner was the most rotten. Basically, it was all just falling down. So I just took that all out, and it's been pretty good since then. I had thought that there might be some water intrusion over here, but I cleaned it up last time, and even with all that rain, it doesn't look like there's any accumulation. It's just, I just need to go through and do a thorough cleaning up here. But the thing I was worried about, that was maybe that there was water leaking down through here that had caused that headliner to rot, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So you've got a pretty good hatch up here, but this wood is not the strongest, so eventually I'll want to replace that and maybe update this hatch or fix. You can see that it's got some crazing and stuff in it, but it doesn't seem to leak that much or anything. So yeah, that's the V-berth situation. Right now I'm just mostly using it for storage. I have these cockpit cushions here. I want to get this vinyl thoroughly cleaned, see if it's salvageable, and the foam inside all needs to be replaced because it's just pathetic. But the actual V-berth cushions are actually in really great shape, and the foam is really good still too, so that's very promising. Here's the spinnaker. Oh no, spinnaker is underneath here. as you can see. And I haven't had a chance to hoist that up and check it out yet, but that's going to be on the priority list. First thing to get done is to get hauled and get the bottom done, and then yeah. So that is an overview of the boat. The shore power works, and provides charging to the batteries, but the I guess they're about 6 years old and they're just regular lead acid. So at some point those need to be either updated or I'm thinking about actually maybe upgrading them to lithium ion. One of the batteries is it's underneath here someplace. That's one of the main charging batteries, and it's underneath those steps. So we'll have to check that out at some point. Cool. Yeah.